It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Sunday, the 11th of May. I'm Michael Groff. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. Happy Mother's Day to the one and only Michelle here at Studio B, and to all the mothers out there. Hope your day is fantastic, although I wish I had a better forecast for you. Unfortunately, yeah, hot temperatures will be with us. Now, if you like to hang out by the pool, if you like the heat, hey, this is your forecast. The hottest temperatures we've had so far this year expected across much of Arizona for today. But we will get a reprieve from these well above average temps by the middle part of this upcoming week. How cool will it get? How long will it last? Do we have any rain chances? We'll talk about all of that and everything else as we dive on in and discuss. First, let's look at that almanac from yesterday. Oh boy, 103 degrees the afternoon high, 78 the morning low. That was not a record warm low temperature, although it was pretty close. 92 and 68, the averages for this time of year, and 111 degrees, the record high temperature for the date, set back in 1930. I'm sure we all remember that day. Looking outside right now here at 10:25 a.m., some clouds around. We had haze much of yesterday and early this morning, and that was from wildfires ongoing across Graham County. That wildfire smoke blew into the lower deserts with those easterly winds we had yesterday. Now, fortunately, we'll see the winds beginning to shift today and pushing that smoke out of here, but we'll still have plenty of mid and high level clouds around. At any rate, right now, 93 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point's 45, humidity 19%, a breeze from the southeast at 12 miles per hour, and the barometer is falling. Temperatures across the area, upper 80s and low 90s here in the valley. 95 at Surprise. So it is heating up, and again, we'll have highs this afternoon from about 101 to 105 in most of these locations. Satellite picture out here across the west. Why is it so darn hot? High pressure is the reason. It's always the reason for the heat, right? We've got this ridge extending not only from here in the southwest, but all the way into the central and northern plain states, and the heat exists there too, as we will show you in a moment. Now, you do note those high clouds moving at us from the west and southwest. That's in response to a developing area of low pressure off the Pacific Northwest coast, and that low will eventually bring in somewhat cooler air here over the southwest by the middle part of the upcoming week. Here's the watch warning map. Of course, of note for us, we have an air quality alert, once again issued by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality for Maricopa County. We also have wind advisories across much of northern Arizona, where we could see some wind gusts there to 40 plus miles per hour. Now, it should not be quite as breezy in the valley today as it was yesterday, but still some gusty winds, 20, 25 miles per hour. Might be a great day to get out there with mom and fly a kite. Why not? I can't imagine my mom wanting to fly a kite, but it's a funny visual nonetheless. Those wind advisories extend throughout much of the southwest and up into the Great Basin. We have flash flood and flood watches across parts of the southeast U.S. and in the northern plain states. I mentioned that ridge out here in the west. Yes, it extends into the northern plains, and we have all the ingredients coming together for wildfires, and that's why we have those red flag warnings and the fire weather watches that are up there. We have very warm temperatures. We have low humidity and strong gusty winds, maybe over 40 to 50 miles per hour there. In fact, let's take a look at current temperatures in the northern plains across the Dakotas, northwest Minnesota. It's 94 at Grand Forks Air Force Base. Speaking of my mom, old stomping grounds, Walhalla, North Dakota, 86. It's currently 82 in Cavalier. We're well up in the 80s and low 90s across much of this area. And again, the humidity levels here are low. You often think that it's very muggy up here, and oftentimes in the summer it is, but right now, no, dew points generally in the 30s and 40s, so very low humidity and those gusty winds, so the stage is set for those wildfires. Let's look at the forecast highs up here today. 101 degrees is the forecast high for Minot, North Dakota, the Magic City. And it might be as hot in Minot as it is in Las Vegas today. You don't see that too often. 90s elsewhere for Bismarck and Grand Forks and Fargo, Devil's Lake, Valley City, Jamestown, even over toward Crookston, Minnesota. It's going to be very hot up here. A little bit lower temps down toward the Twin Cities, but even there, we expect highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. And this heat will last for a couple more days up here before the same system that brings us the cooler temperatures pushes that ridge off to the east and lowers temps up here. Obviously, average temps across North Dakota and Minnesota this time of year, generally in the mid-60s to low 70s. Convective outlook for today, a marginal risk of severe storms across the southeast U.S., the standard slight risk for portions of Montana, Wyoming, the adjacent areas there. All of that well to our north. Here's the precipitation outlook, valid through next Sunday morning. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, ostensibly nothing. Region-wide, not much because, yes, it is May. The storm track remains generally to the north of us. And when I say that, yes, we will have a system coming through here on Tuesday and Wednesday. We could even see some follow-up troughing passing through. But the main moisture and dynamic support will stay far to the north. The tail end of these weather systems will move through here, and that will be what helps to facilitate cooler temps, which we will talk about that and all the rest of the forecast details. Try to figure it out right now as we explore the models, see what's going on. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Big area of low pressure over the southeast U.S. That is in part the same system that brought us the unsettled weather last weekend and early in this past week. And they've just been getting rain, and more rain down there. And in some cases, they really do need it across Florida. Quite a drought going on right now. So they're hoping for the precipitation. They don't necessarily want the severe weather, but some rain would be great. But for us, it's high pressure in control. There's that area of low pressure well to the north and west of us. Down at the surface for the rest of the day today, we'll see some clouds around. We'll call it partly cloudy. High temperatures 101 to 105. Average high for today, 92 degrees. We'll be above that. For tonight, some clouds around at times. Overnight lows, generally in the 70s. That's obviously above average, but start to get used to that because our cool nights are mostly behind us, although we will see somewhat cooler temperatures here in a moment. I'll show you. Here's Monday. Highs upper 90s to about 102. With some clouds around, but here comes that area of low pressure. That trough is going to swing by to the north of us. The tail end of that system comes through on Tuesday. We'll see a few clouds, breezy, high temperatures, upper 80s and low 90s. So about 10 degrees cooler for the day on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, lows could get down in the upper 50s in the cooler desert spots and the outlying areas of the valley, but most of us will be in the 60s. High temperatures will generally be in the mid 80s. This will be the coolest day of the forecast period. Should be nice. But it doesn't last long. Upper 80s, low 90s on Thursday. Now, the good news is ridging will try to build back in, but for the most part, we should see these frequent weather systems passing by mostly to the north of us. And so as a result, temperatures will not warm up much beyond this. Maybe low 90s, possibly as warm as the mid 90s for Friday and Saturday. But you can see another round of showers, some thunderstorms off to the north of us. And so the tail end of that system will move through here next Saturday or Sunday, and that should help to bring another round of slightly cooler temperatures, perhaps. Although I will say that model guidance really does start to vary way out here toward the latter half of next week, and especially the following weekend and out there towards 7 to 10 days, as you would expect. But the model spread is actually fairly notable here, but regardless of the outcome, no real chance of any precipitation, at least not for us and not for most of Arizona. Here's a week from today. This is Sunday, the 18th. And you can see that trough is coming through here, negative height anomalies, so temperatures would dip once again if this is correct. Not dramatically, but I think highs may retreat back into the mid 80s to about 90. Here's Monday, the 19th. That low is moving off to the north and east toward the Plain States, and high pressure is out there to the west of us, a dry northwesterly flow, so we're warming it back up. This is Tuesday, the 20th, out 10 days, and you can see ridging is coming back in, the heights are coming up, and so temperatures are returning to at least a little bit above seasonal averages. I'd say highs mid-90s to maybe right around 100 if this is correct. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this goes out through the 25th of May off the GFS ensemble. Hardly a drop there, and absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. This is you'd think I just blanked this out, but I didn't. That is the European ensemble. You've got 51 members in this ensemble for the next 2 weeks. None of them, not a single member shows a single drop of precipitation in Phoenix. And that is often what we see here in the month of May. Temperatures off the national blend of models. The trend is down, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday. And that should be where we see our coolest temps of this forecast period. Then we'll warm it up a bit. Whether or not we see that next trough coming through here next weekend and its effects on our weather still are unclear. The national blend of models doesn't show very much of an impact with that, with highs generally staying right around average and then peaking once again as we get out there toward about 10 days. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here and you want to support the channel, please click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and make a monetary contribution to us that way. Or even better than that is if you were to donate to our PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and yes, the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Happy Mother's Day to Michelle, and again, to all the mothers out there. Yes, check out our blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, possibly Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description, so do give that a look. Our streaming station available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun with that, so give that a listen as well. It's the perfect complement to your Mother's Day or any day. So check that out. And that's linked up down in the description, or you can go to kmgx.com and listen via that way. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. Please be safe out there. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Sunday and your Mother's Day.